The hall buzzed with music, laughter, and sparkling lights, a perfect picture of celebration. It was my son Daniel's company anniversary party, a night of elegance, crystal chandeliers, champagne flutes, and carefully polished smiles. I lingered near a corner table, holding a glass of water, observing the crowd from a distance. I'd never been one for grand festivities. My late wife used to call me a quiet storm, calm on the surface but capable of upheaval when pushed too far. That night, I was about to discover just how true her words remained. As the announcement for dinner echoed through the room, the music softened. My daughter-in-law, Melissa, swept past like a hurricane in a designer gown and sparkling jewels, radiating arrogance. She had always looked down on me, calling me old-fashioned and embarrassing at their elite gatherings. Still, I had come for Daniel, my son. When dinner was announced, I moved toward the buffet. Then it happened. "Stop, everyone. Wait." Melissa's voice rang out, sharp and urgent. The room hushed instantly, all eyes turning toward her. She pointed at me. "My diamond bracelet, it's missing," she cried, her face contorted with feigned distress. The only person nearby was me. I froze, unable to believe what I was hearing. "Melissa," I said quietly, "are you accusing me?" She interrupted, fake tears glistening. "You were right behind me when I took it off. Check his pockets." Whispers rippled through the hall. Daniel looked stunned, torn between his wife and his father. "Dad, I'm sure it's a misunderstanding," he began, voice shaky. Melissa snapped, "Then prove it. If he didn't take it, he won't mind being searched." I felt the weight of humiliation settle over me, but I stayed calm. I emptied my pockets. Wallet, handkerchief, an old watch, keys, and some coins. No bracelet. Melissa's triumphant smirk faltered briefly, then returned. "Maybe he hid it somewhere else," she suggested. Daniel stepped in. "Melissa, stop. Enough." Her words cut deeper than the accusation. "Your father's always disliked me. Maybe this is his way of embarrassing me," she hissed. I took a steadying breath, my throat dry, my chest heavy with shame. "You've made your point, Melissa. I'll leave." And quietly I did. Guests shifted aside as I walked out, their eyes burning into my back. That night, I sat alone in my modest apartment, my hands trembling, not with anger but with disappointment. I had raised Daniel to value honor, yet he had allowed fear and loyalty to blind him. But I would not let Melissa tarnish my name. I had spent decades building a reputation of integrity. I would defend it, not with rage but with truth. The next morning, I contacted an old friend, Robert, who had once headed security at Daniel's company. By noon, I knew who managed the event's surveillance system. 3 days later, Daniel called, voice unsteady. "Dad, I'm sorry. We found the bracelet." I remained silent. It was in the coat room. One of the staff found it behind a mirror. And the footage, it shows Melissa dropping it herself while adjusting her hair. I let a quiet pause stretch across the line. "Did she admit it to everyone?" I asked. "No," Daniel said. "We'll correct it." "No," I replied firmly. "I will." The following weekend, Daniel and Melissa held a smaller dinner to thank colleagues. I attended. After the main course, I stood and tapped my glass. Silence fell. "I want to share a story," I said. "A story about trust and truth." Melissa shifted nervously. I continued, "A few nights ago at this very table, I was accused of theft. My name was dragged through mud before strangers. But today I bring proof." I gestured to the projector. Robert played the security footage. The room fell silent as everyone watched Melissa remove her bracelet, chat, adjust her hair, and accidentally drop it behind a mirror. Melissa's face turned pale. Whispers spread, "She lied." "Truth always finds its way," I said, calm and resolute. Melissa couldn't meet my eyes. She fled the room in tears. Daniel followed, his eyes brimming with remorse. "Dad, I'm so sorry. I don't deserve your forgiveness." I placed a hand on his shoulder. "You stayed silent when I needed you, son. But you have a chance to make it right, not for me but for yourself." The next morning, Daniel returned alone. He confessed that he had seen Melissa's true colors: pride, manipulation, and deceit. A week later, he filed for separation. I did not rejoice. Revenge had never been my goal. Redemption was. Melissa attempted to apologize, but I only said, "I hope you learned that dignity cannot be bought with diamonds." Months later, Daniel visited often. We shared breakfasts, memories of his mother, and reflections on life's lessons. One evening he asked, "Dad, how did you stay calm that night?" I smiled faintly. "Anger clouds judgment, son. Truth is the only weapon an old man needs. He nodded, understanding. The world had witnessed an old man humiliated, then vindicated. What they didn't see was the quiet patience it required. Silence, I realized, can be the loudest answer. Respect is earned, never demanded. And when the world questioned my honor, it was truth, not anger, that restored it. Moral: lies may seem powerful, but the truth always finds its way.